Ms. Andrews has written several books. Her latest book, Gumbo for the Heart, is designed to give hope to those who feel they have none left and to inspire people to get things done in their own lives to reach their goals. Over 10 years ago, Dianne put her own interests aside to be the caregiver for her ailing mother who passed away in 2007. To quote Ms. Andrews, "That has been my greatest accomplishment and joy of my life." As you can see, Ms. Andrews has a unique and varied background. Her passion is to share her skills with others through her writing and speaking while giving back to the world. Let's put our hands together for our keynote speaker, Ms. Dianne Andrews.
Let me pull it down a little bit. As you see, I'm not too tall and I have 5-inch heels on. Thank you, Mr. Wilson, and thank you, Rhonda, for allowing me to come speak to the class today. Monica, for allowing me to come speak to the class today. I've spoken with Rhonda more than I have, and of course, Mr. Wilson. You heard all the things that I've accomplished in my lifetime. And what I will challenge you all to do is to try to be the best that you can be. In life, we all have certain talents. This is the first time that I have spoken. Can I pull this out of here? You are? Okay, because I'm used to walking around. I also do a talk show. Anybody ever seen Dianne Andrews in black and white? You have. Okay, that's my talk show. That's my latest venture. I still own my home health care agency, and I'm writing my 3rd book. In fact, I have in the car some calendars for you that I'll be doing. I do motivation calendars from the art contest, as you mentioned, that I sponsored for the children of Katrina when they were here. Because I know as we heal, as we hurt, the best way to heal is to do something with your hands, or to create something, or to sing, to make something beautiful out of a disaster that has never been seen in the state of Louisiana before. I am so happy to see the black and the white, and I call mine in black and white with a splash of color for my show, and that color is red. So I'm happy to see black and white and red here today. But more so, not just the colors, what it symbolizes. This is the first time that I've ever spoken to a diploma class, and an AD class, and a bachelor's class. So I want you all to give yourselves a hand and a round of applause for what you've accomplished. Tell me, how many of you are the first that have ever graduated in your family? Let's give another hand. And that is nothing to be ashamed of. That is something to say that you have a plan in your life. And I will tell you to continue that plan. If you want to only, and I don't mean that in small terms, a degree, I mean a diploma degree. If you want an AD, and that's all you want. But if you want a BS, if you want to be a doctor, be the best of whatever you choose in your life to be. When I graduated from high school as a valedictorian, I was given a book called I Dare You. And that book said, I dare you to be the best that you can be. I want you to reach up, reach out, and pull from within. Everything that you have within your power to be whatever you want to be. I saw quite a few people who had 3.75s to 4.0s, 3 with 4.0s. Would you stand up? I just want to see you and tell you thank you and congratulations. You have a lot of talent in this room, and I again commend you. You may be seated. Thank you very, very much. I have a formula. I'm a mathematics major undergrad, and I have an MBA. So I have a formula. Of course, if you're a math major, you have to have a formula for everything in life. It works pretty well in business. Haven't done too well in romance, though. So I better try to reinvent that formula in that vein. But my formula is success equals 3D plus 2P slash 3P plus N. Success equals desire. We all have a desire to be successful. Is there anyone in here who would say, I don't want to be successful? I don't think so. But how many people make the decision to be successful? If we have 100 people, I'll tell you that drops down to 80 who make the decision to be successful. But let's take it even further. I told you 3 Ds. Who has the determination to follow that desire on? That's great. Let me finish the formula. You'll tell me if you're in the 20%. We're going to end up, if you had 100 people, we're going to end up with 20 who really follow through on my formula for success. So we're down at now about 80 people, right? Let's go to the P's. Remember I told you 2P? And about 10 years ago, I slashed through the 2 and changed that to 3 P's. The P's are planning. We can have the desire, make the decision. We have the determination, which a lot of people don't have. We're down to 60% of that 100 or 60 people out of 100. How many people start to plan for success? Sure, there are a lot of people who are successful without planning. But when you look at the percentages of those people, it's a very minute percentage. Some people have the talent to be an NBA basketball star. I may have wanted to be a model. I'm not 5'10", I'm 5'2". We must have realistic dreams. Some people may want to be a rapper, but do you have the talent, and is it worth your time to try? Try to do something that makes you happy, but also something that is reasonable for you to do. What I learned at IBM is we managed to our strengths. We managed our people to our strengths. As I said, if I wanted to be a runway model, I would have been stupid even trying and wasting time trying. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to major in mass communications, and I started to, but I had started my career off in mathematics, pure mathematics, here at Southern University. My brother is Dean of Business at Southern University now, Dr. Andrews, and neither one of our parents had college degrees. So you can be, again, what you want to be, but they instilled in us the ability, and they gave us the freedom and pushed us to do what we needed to do to be successful, which wasn't a lot of pushing. It was something just instilled in us just to do what you've been given talents. We all have. You may not have the same talent as that lady sitting next to you or the gentleman sitting next to you, but each one of you all has something special. And I want you to remember that. Pull out that special. Remember I said reach up, reach out, and pull from within. Whatever is in you, and in you to be the best that you can be. I'll tell you a few of the obstacles that I overcame at IBM. I was 19 years old. I remember I had to go to Owego, New York, another small town. I'm from a little town in North Louisiana. Owego was about the size of my town, Marouge, Louisiana. That was the home of IBM. I was a programmer on the space shuttle when I started with IBM. We don't do the space shuttle as of a couple of years ago, but I was a 4-pack programmer, assembling language, and programming everything as 0 and 1s. It's in the binary system. I can read a dope. And every language now is based on assembling language down to machine language coding in a computer. Anybody in here in any of the sciences, like computer science, or I don't know if you offer computer science. I don't think so. You do. Anyone in that? Anyone graduating in that? That's a good major to have. So when I started with IBM, I moved from the space shuttle and went down to Houston, Texas. And I was working in the banking industry. When I was in the banking industry there, I had never had a systems engineer that had one other person who was a systems engineer, one other black person. I was the second. I remember walking into Texas Commerce Bank, which was the marketing rep. I was the engineer. I knew how large mainframes connected their networks outward. I knew what software we had. One was called CICS at that time, that hooked up to a server, that hooked up to the computer. So I went in, and the man, he was a white man, a white gentleman, the rep. We had no black marketing reps in the state of Texas at that time. IBM didn't. And he introduced me as the new systems engineer. This vice president turned his back to me and wouldn't talk. He was a white man, as I said. And instead of getting mad, he was asking the marketing rep. We both worked for IBM. I was not going to let IBM look bad, and I was not going to act like we didn't know. Of course, he didn't know the technical stuff. I answered the man with his back to me. I answered his questions. By the end of that conversation, what do you think he was doing? He turned around to me and answered. I answered directly to him. This is how you get respect. It is not rioting. It is not shooting. It is not killing each other. It is not killing anybody.
Hi,
it
is
is
your
being
phone
the best
speaking?
that you can be.
You have a
We
new
all
message.
overcome obstacles in our life. As I went on with IBM, I was a process re-engineer. I traveled all over the world doing that with this company. And I had to go to Avis Rent-A-Car, which is headquartered in Long Island, New York. And I remember walking in, I had done this in Puerto Rico, in Detroit at Con Edison, and a lot of companies. And I walk in, I was leading a team of mid to upper level management. We reported into the president of the company. We came into these companies, IBM of course, to sell hardware, but what we did was a free service called process re-engineering, where we would take all the processes and we would tell you how to better flow those processes, from flowing them out and what were the better procedures, down to what was the forms we needed, and of course what software we could sell and hopefully increase the amount of hardware you needed at IBM. I remember walking into Avis Rent-A-Car out on Long Island, and there were 6 managers in there that I would lead for 6 weeks for 4 days a week. And the MIS director, I saw when he looked at me, and said, oh my God, I saw that. And 3 weeks later, we had at the third week, we had a mid-level Now let me leave you people out. At the third week, we had a mid-level conference, okay? And we would meet with the president and give him the results of what we'd seen for the first 3 weeks. I said, when I walked in that day, I saw your eyes. Look, I told him, what were you thinking? He said, Dianne, can I be truthful? I said, I only do it that way. Tell me what you thought. He said, I thought had sent us their token nigger. And this is what he told me. And I said, number one, why would you say that? Because we've become friends. And, he knew he said, you really know what you're doing. I said, IBM doesn't hire any dummies. And IBM doesn't send dummies out because they don't have any to send. I said, how many women, black women, have you dealt with that didn't know what they were doing? And he said he had dealt with one. I said, tell me how many white women you dealt with that didn't know what they were doing. And I said, better yet, tell me how many men you dealt with that didn't know what they were doing. And what he said was, touche, Dianne, I've learned a valuable lesson. Be the best you can be and you will change minds. It is not being nasty. It is not doing your job. It is doing your job and doing it better than anybody else. IBM had a scale 1 to 5, 1 being the best 5. I was a 1 performer. I did exactly what I was supposed to, and you're paid by performance, which is one thing I don't like about healthcare. They pay by time and service, and I'm in healthcare also, as you know now. But that is how you change minds, by being better and doing better. And as Martin Luther King said, and as Gandhi said, having a gentle soul. How did Gandhi change the world? How did Martin Luther King change the world? What did they believe in? Tell me. Tell me, what did Martin Luther King believe in? What did he go to jail for? Did he ever fight back? Nonviolence. He believed in nonviolence. And I will say that in your work as you get out, attitude. Harvard Business School does a report every year. Out of 500 CEOs, the top CEOs in the world, 85% is what got them to their job was their attitude, not their altitude, just their aptitude. Because to get to that altitude, you must have the work ethic. Remember, when you walk into an interview, I get hundreds of resumes a week. When I look at the resume, I'm already bringing someone in who I think is equipped to do this job. If they wouldn't, I wouldn't call you in. So if you come in not looking the part, you're going to Google, of course, put your jeans and your slacks on, right? Because that's what they wear. If you're going to Xerox, IBM, you may want to dress differently. Because when I was there at IBM, and of course we were more formal then, I had one going out outfit, and I had one outfit to wear to work. Just remember that. You have to become a part of that culture, of their culture, whatever culture it is. You're not going to change the company. The company will, except for the good. If you have some good ideas to try to help change the company, that is a very good thing. I won't keep you long. I know I'm only supposed to be up about 15 minutes, and I know you have a lot of other things to do. But I will leave with you. As you go out into this world, just remember humility and humanity. As I said, the greatest thing I ever did in my life was taking care of my mother. And I gave up IBM transferred me down here for a year, and then I started my own company. But humility, never forget the people that brung you. Never think you're too good for anybody that you've ever met. And never think you're too good to help a soul in need. Because I guarantee you, as you've heard in church, the more you give will be the more you will get in your life. And don't give it with a heart to get. But if you give it with a kind heart, you will get it back 100-fold. I know in my life I have. And that is how I've tried to live my life. If you've seen my show, I always end it with a white candle. And I say, growing up in Marouge, Louisiana, which is the town where I'm from, up around Bastrop, up around Monroe, up near Shreveport, if you don't know, near the border, near Arkansas. I saw a show when I was a little girl growing up, and it has stuck with me all my life, and I've tried to live it all my life. They burned a white candle, and in my show, I end it that way and say, and I light a candle. And I say, if everyone lit just one little candle, what a bright world this would be. Because you're going out helping. Remember, there's self-doubt in all of us, but don't let self-doubt, your inner mind, talk to you to keep you from going higher than the clouds if you let it speak to you too loud. That's one of my quotes. Also, reach out within and all of that. But my favorite quote is, happiness is, after everything you've tried, finding a place where there's love inside.
And at the end of the day, what do we all want? We want to be loved. Because I can have all the success in the world, but if I have no love, what have I accomplished? If I don't give love, again, humility and humanity. Thank you very much. Congratulations and good luck.
On behalf of Remington College, we would like to present you with a token of our appreciation for being here and sharing those words with our graduates tonight. Thank you.
It was my pleasure.